for illumined life to be birthed into form. I am the truth. I am the light. Illumined, beloved divine.
So hello there everyone, and welcome to this mini video message with me here today. So I actually had an incredible day when the exhilaration, the excitement came back, and coincidentally this also aligned with our Mercury going direct, and it's just been all day in my mind to record this message, and I was in this hyper state, but I couldn't really get myself to record because I just wanted to be in the essence of feeling. I wanted to be in the feeling instead of doing something. And the whole day there were these disturbances as well. I know I live in a village and there's always very, very much noise, people doing something, but I went for this hike in this beautiful autumn month of October, one of my favorite months, and it's just been incredibly beautiful. It's one of those days when the energy really shifts, and basically, all this time of going through these breakthroughs and doing heavy work, heavy lifting, it's still not easy for us on earth to feel this uplifted energy, this upsurge of energy after we've already shifted something. So today I just wanted to come down to sit this beautiful video message down with you, and I actually also wanted to share my beautiful sundown experience because we have beautiful views here. It's one of the pluses here. And basically what I wanted to share is that it's still very important for us, even in this time of transition. Although, as I've said, this world of transition is a world of sacrifice, and the world of illumination is the world of the heart. And it is important for us to continue coming back to our heart, to a space of where love is real, where love is true, and living this love and having this exhilarated feeling. So when I was in my feeling, right, all day hiking, and I just wanted to keep it for myself, to keep my body elevated, because what occurred yesterday was actually, there was a completely opposite experience. And although we had a beautiful sunny weekend, yesterday was Sunday, and the day was super heavy. I don't want to go too much into the difficult intricacies of this, but the darkness, not only on heavy days, sometimes we have, let's say, weather fronts that have been, co-created by not forces of the light, and they basically put us in this very stuffy feeling, in this very repressive mode, feeling suppressed and not able to do much, feeling sometimes even like victims of this circumstance, the condition of this earth, and everything, being so hijacked by the darkness. And at the same time, we're trying to uprise and create these moments of breakthroughs for ourselves, right? So when these days come and sometimes the sun comes out and we are so beautifully finally embraced by the sun, all we want to do is enjoy that sunlight. So yesterday, of course, my body was super tired and depleted, and I felt very heavy, and it's very difficult for me to have positive days in my body when my body is completely pain-free. Basically, I don't have a day that's pain-free, but let's say in overall the pain that's not too damaging and too obstructive so that I can't do much at all, right? It's very much hurtful. And so yesterday I was out in the sun, just absorbing the sun rays, just being with myself and resting. At the end of the day, I've got a tremendous headache, and this is not like a classic headache, but it's like pain pressure that I've talked about. It feels like a ticking bomb here at the temporal lobes and going through these nerve canals, and basically all the channels are being stimulated. So basically what I've been shown is that the sun is not, the sun is as it is, but the darkness through these web control, the gridding that we have through cellular towers and now being of the 5G frequencies, and this relates to what they've created as this web of the satellites and the way they can beam a specific frequency, so they can use the frequency of the sun to intensify, either use it for low frequency emanations or super high charge, they don't affect our bodies positively. So they would use them to alter the frequency around Earth's core, and even as we talked about, they are still trying to influence the frequency of the Earth's core inside. And this was a heavy mission, and I don't want to go into this talk here today. But as you can see, sun is going down. What I want to share is that no matter how difficult it is, and after that experience yesterday, I was in so much pain, right? All I wanted to do is just go in the dirt and stop existing, because that's how frustrating and difficult and strong my pain can be at times, you know, because I'm so hypersensitive, and when these things happen, I will feel them the first one, because I'm the only one that I was shown that I went through all of the transgression and all the levels of darkness and its manipulation. So I've been showing these been shown these things. However, I don't want to go too much into them anymore, because I told you I don't want to go so much into mission and these complex issues. I do want to stay in the simplicity of the heart. So what I did yesterday, when this pain wave was coming through, I just went to the space of my heart, and I kept saying to myself, love is the ultimate. Return to the beloved, beloved love, beloved love. And I kept on feeling the beloved love just pouring through my heart, because what the dark has been doing, as you know, they're trying to decrease the magnetic nature by increasing the magnetic nature of who we are. And I'll do a second part of the video recording, I think, because the sun is going down now. So I'm going to do the second part next day. So that's tomorrow from where I'm standing. And basically, right, I've written down something in my notebook that I just happened to read today, which was interesting, right? So how the beloved is the key. And I want to read you that part. It's a beautiful writing I did. About also the mission that we had here on earth to eliminate this process of what they were trying to do. So they're trying to pull this earth into this lower gravitational pull. And the mission of the beloved, just simply by tuning to the heart and our heart center, is key, because, you know, beloved frequency, being in the state of love, is, according to the darkness, on the most wanted list. And yet it's so simple. You know, people who believe they're doing very advanced spiritual work, they're not so much necessarily physically through their embodiment process contributing to this process of physical illumination. So this is something that me and my beloved counterpart have been doing here on earth. Basically not joined in the physical, but we've both been doing this work. And it's been basically to increase the magnetic nature. And because of that, this tantric cultivation is so important. And hence I've been teaching this, right? Tantrika, life force cultivation, cosmic bliss, cosmic orgasm, all these things, because they're so important. But for everyone, even someone who doesn't have any knowledge about this and how to work that through their body and the system of the body and the pineal gland and basically all of the gland systems, that basically work with refined light and translate it into light we can use as life force that's vital for our physical bodies, right? But besides that, the most simple thing, the most simple act anyone can do is this state of returning to love. However, right, on these darker days when we're doing the heavy lifting, we're not really feeling inspired. In my case, with all the pain and tremendous amount of it sometimes, it feels like my body will explode. And you know, what's the point of being in this earth if all I am is constantly in pain, right? That's what we think. And we're becoming discouraged and depressed because there's this, there's different levels of depression. And one aspect of depression is being depressed simply because your body can't provide you the optimal exercise that you need, right? So when I'm in this elevated state, when my back doesn't hurt at all, that was today. It was probably one day a month that I get to have such a day when the frequencies are aligned and we managed to do that breakthrough of our Lumen Union team and work. Is that's when this optimal wave, almost like wavelengths, are being moved through the body. But you know, how to stay encouraged, right? When we're in the darker waves, and we're constantly going to be that until we're in this world of transition, right? Things won't just shift magically. But for me, to be in the state of what I call the beloved energy, when I'm in this sparked up mode, and you know, when I'm not doing the heavy lifting, but I'm just simply enjoying the fruit of our labors, which is when we do the heavy lifting and pushing. And it's not always just on the heavy cloudy days, right? Or when the frequencies are being distorted through fake weather modulations, but also on these sunny days, because they've learned how to use the light of the sun against us, against humanity, against our own bodies, which is, it's a really disgusting thing, and we don't want to go into this here today, but how to basically stay in this essence of love, right? So there's 3 different messages, and I want to do a separate video on that because I was channeling about this today from the Elohim, so I will do that as well. And it's basically for 3 different people types, or where people are in the development. For example, people who are still feeling like victims here, who just complain and they think their life is happening to them, and you know, this they're not in this proactive, conscious, moving energy state, because it is so important, especially now, to constantly move the energy to what we call shifting the shit. My spirit guides are calling it like this, shifting the shit, because there's a whole lot of things here on this planet. Jesus yesterday, after my pain wave and doing some Reiki healing session, he said to us, we really don't envy us, those of you who are physically embodied and incarnate on earth at this time. And we do know it, right? I'm sure you know it. And so it's been becoming increasingly difficult, because when you're refining your frequency, a lot of people think, well, then it's going to be easier for you. No, until you're still in the physical body, it won't get easier. But how to access that core of love? First, knowing you're not a victim. Second, using the energy movement and flow to cultivate yourself. For example, it's different ways, right? So today it was a light wave. It was easy for me to flow and be in the love state. But how to be in that love state, for example, when you are in the, sorry about the noise, as I've said, this is the village. The people use all kinds of machines here. And so it's difficult, right? When you're in pain, or when you're grieving, or when you feel like you're being squeezed in. And at that moment, right, love is the ultimate. I've already told you, work with the golden light of Christ, because the golden light will keep refining your souls. It will keep alleviating the pains. When I work with the golden light, it's almost like it's not an immediate remedy, because obviously when the pain is immense, it's immense. But it gradually helps to release that heavy impact of frequencies in the body, to the body, that are often very detrimental. A lot of people, talk about toxic influences of food, even coffee, things like that. You have to know right now where we are in our society and what's being done to our planet with our planetary life force and with the light, using it for the intelligence of the malevolent force of dark, not benevolence of the light. Energetic toxicity, energetic impacts are the worst threats to our bodies, right? So there's many frequencies, controls that exist. But the ultimate glue for us, the ultimate remedy for us to keep on being faithful, hopeful, is to always return to the heart of the beloved, or the heart of love. So when you're in that love state, right, when you're in this higher state, it's easy, right, to flow within love and to embrace the world of love and be in the state of illumined union. But when life is, let's say, more challenging, what do you do? Like, for example, you have to know that bringing the sensual nature to life is vitally important. People who don't sensualize their lives, I'm not talking about lusty energies here, I'm talking about the understanding that we're still on earth, our bodies are still attuned to earth's rhythms and cycles and all the intelligences that coexist on this planet. So therefore we need to work in unity, in synergy with all of them, right? Embracing all of these elemental natures of life. So for me, what helps me is to bring back the essential nature of life. Like, for example, working with ointments, like essences, those roll-ons, or with sound, right? With not just using your own sound, because that's obviously the most important thing, to bring frequency through your own channeling. I'll do a video specifically on that, because I promised you to do a Mother Elohim Song of Life and the Beloved. I'll do that as well one day when the energy is right. The sun is just going down. But for example, just something as simple as pleasures of earth, like when you're drinking tea really softly, when you're using like tea ritualistically, even coffee. I don't drink coffee, like gobble it up like most humans. We do it for these coffee cup readings, and we're always excited in this higher frequency mode. I know people have different beliefs about coffee, how it basically decreases the blood flow into our brain. Of course, then the coffee you're drinking and it's not organic and it's too strong. The coffee we do is very mild, and we only use it ritualistically, and we enter in it with the state of joy. And then we do readings, right? I'll do that for my patrons as well now. For people in my group on Telegram, because it's something very fun. So Spirit always tells me, you have to uplift yourself through the essence of fun, even when you're still in this world. You can't just keep on hoping for the next one, that's a better one, right? Because it's the joy that will ascend us. It's the joy frequency that we have to find all the time. And when it's the hardest, we need to use it the most. And that's when we do need to work with the essential principles of life. Like, for example, for me, what it works is, that excitement when you just discover a new song after a very long time of having your playlist and knowing all the songs, and as juicy as they are, there's a new song that comes into town. And you're so excited, and you feel like this rush of energy. And being in this rush of energy cultivates the flow of love very fast. And the problem with people who are very much victimized, and they're under these spells of dark astral entities, and they're very much themselves in darkness, a lot of them still carry within their wombs the way they're being imprinted by what we call the surrogate mother, which is Lucifera. It's not the divine mother. She comes here and she, puts nothing but stress, fear, and worry into our human bodies through the seed, right? So people who are always feeling victimized and down, they're still carrying her seed, and they're never thinking about it for one moment, right? As you know, Christ beings who are operating on the Christ essence, we know that everything goes and dates back to her and the origin of the fall and where this fall has begun and the way it's been used to manipulate and control. However, people who just living their mundane lives, they often think this is just their own fault. And, the only thing that is to be blamed here, not blamed, but, to find root causes, because you're not doing the work. And the work needs to come to the level of our inner child, which basically resides within our womb. So basically, Lucifer, she doesn't want humans to be happy. She doesn't want us to be happy in the state of constant love flow cultivation and ecstatic tantric dance and self-beloved union. She loathes that. And the only antidote to all these lower impulses and frequencies, these dark waves, is to be in that flow, right? Is to be in that state of joy no matter what. And it's almost like doing it in spite. So you have to really work hard. You have to get to the core of yourself and not give up on this world. And I'm not saying the outside world as it is, because the world of the outside is what it is, but your own existence in the world, your own existence in this body, we're not meant to give up on it. So things as difficult as when we're going through dark waves as they are, they simply are what they are. People who are sometimes feeling like down and like victims, let me just tell you my story. I've experienced the worst transgression that I was told no human on earth as of now has experienced. When we've done it, right? As I've explained through the Elohim witnessing and bringing that back to God. And I've experienced the most tremendous atrocities and horrors, and still I'm hopeful. I'm always sparky. I'm whenever I can, and when I'm in this dump sometimes I too sometimes would say, oh, just giving up on the whole thing and just leaving the planet. But until I'm here, I'm somehow important, and it's vitally important for me to know that and to be attuned to that and to do something that in that moment, whatever it is, can cultivate the state of love for me, can cultivate that state of union. It's also very important to make our bodies feel warm and nourished and supported, also through orgasmic cultivation. People do not give that much meaning, but orgasmic, natural, exuding in our body when it's used for the light and to increase our light intelligence, it increases the magnetic nature of our body. It increases the blood flow, right? So we have to know that things like we're seeing as enemies like coffee, right? Of course, anything that we overdo and we're not using in moderation is harmful for us. But we have to know also that we're in charge of our bodies. And whatever you do through love, if you're not overdoing it, right, in temperance and moderation, you can alter the course of anything. So my difficulty in this life has been working through these very difficult breakthroughs, right? Basically working through these frequencies. And sometimes because of that work, my body feels like, holy crap, why am I always the victim here? Why do I have to be the scapegoat? Why am I the one just because I know how to do it? It doesn't want to do it at times, but things are as they are. My motto is always, it is what it is. So the best thing for us to do when we're in the state of love is go back to the heart and just simply embrace the nature of life for what it is in each moment, and to bring it back to the heart. And by increasing this accelerated magnetic flow, we're bringing the tendency of life to be sparky again, because there's people who feel terribly down or depressed, and you have to know depression has a root cause, is you not being connected to your soul. And it's not a disease, it's just a disalignment, it's a misalignment. You're not aligned, you're living against your mission, you're living against your life purpose, you're not living in alignment with who you are. And some people just create that on their own, and some of us who do higher work here on this planet, through the cosmic Christ intelligence and principles of life and life-giving, we're basically doing these breakthroughs, and the shadow work we do is collective. It's the shadow work that the darkness is creating, and we're basically the antidotes to this. We're like these light sparks that are so necessary. Otherwise, I'm telling you, what Spirit showed me once, this world would already go to hell, and I don't want to sound biblical here. But, things that have been done already to this planet, dating far way back, going all the way to Atlantis, right, were very, very difficult. And even now, with all this AI and all these things, we can all get discouraged super fast, especially those of you who are in line with the news and all that's happening. And that's why I always tell you, don't just inform yourself. Don't just be aligned with what's happening, because eventually it will bug you down. It will bring you to darkness because you've been too much informed and your body can take it anymore, and all you think about is that, and you're giving your power and your light sustenance to that which you're basically, you know, feeling as something so heavy and burdensome. So whatever is happening, right, we need to return to what the shamans, the great natives, always knew how to do best, right? Dancing, sound, through instruments, but mostly the instrument that is our body. And so I will do the second part. I'm going to read you that mini update tomorrow because, you know, the sun went down. It's pretty cold now. So it's time for me to get dressed and go back home. I just wanted to sit for a while here with you to talk about the importance of staying uplifted no matter what. And when you're feeling very down, you think your life has been low, look at me and my example and how transgressed I was, and I made it. I survived. I didn't just survive, I started thriving again. And I know physically I still have lots of pains, but I'm thriving because I didn't give up on using the light principles and illumined light intelligence to uplift and upsurge my body back into the state of being filled through love and with love. So my inner child knows that now it's her time, right? Both genders, because I'm both. We all are. And the child just knows, I need this, and I need the sustenance of life, and especially when it's hard. And, you know, me and my team, we're doing all these breakthroughs. They're just basically able to do them through me. So I have to stay uplifted no matter what. And sometimes, you know, when the energy is heavy, what uplifts me most is doing my work. And I will do work of service. And that moment, the channeling I would do for someone else, or that offering of spirit that's so gracefully flowing through me to someone else, is uplifting me, and again, and it's just always there to remind us why we're here. And even that level of the world of transition we're still in, we're not giving up. And I'm not saying in the world where we see on the outside we have expectations what that's to be, but on our own embodiment, on our own pilgrimage through this journey of ascension. So I'll see you in the second part, and as always, with so much love, wisdom, and power. And goodbye for now, in this moment, right here, right now, where love is the only true nature of who we are. So softening our hearts, softening through grace, increasing our magnetic flow through that.